May 11th, 2022. Now, this is like the weirdest thing ever. I see, not tonight, but I think it was yesterday, NASA. And I'm thinking to myself, all of the billions of tax dollars and revenue that gets siphoned off of everywhere and funds this stuff somehow that I don't have access to, but I see they're hosting all sorts of rectangular patterns that are not family members. So they have this building, they have these fairs, they have this interaction with the public, none of it which has ever benefited me. They've never even been in my area. Let's think about this. They don't have programs for my sons, or my sons haven't even been whatever, that I'm aware of, especially the little one. There's no planning that's been offered from them based on how horrible I've been treated on the Northeast Coast. They have no phone number that one can access when they're in an emergency with some kind of like high grade interference via aircraft. There's no representatives in the local area. There's no like NASA, like, oh, we have a family member. Maybe we should put something in the village and put like our name outside. Maybe her and her kid might be interested. I mean, it's not like we don't have more money than God, right? You know, they don't think like that. These humans, they're really selfish. So anyway, but here's what they are thinking. This is how they're using the NASA logo in Century 20, year 22.
Well, and we kid you not, NASA could soon be sending nude illustrations to aliens. Yes, you heard that right.
Nude illustrations of aliens. Now, are they using this four-letter key-up word, PORN? Don't want to say it for the kiddos that don't know. I found out about it horrifically enough in the field. And then I found out that when you're a respectable woman who would never think of taking photos of herself and then sending them, I found out that people actually do this and then expect this of each other. And then it's like really awkward when somebody sends you a photo and you're like, now I am not, I mean, there's something, like there's a marble bust in some museum somewhere if you really need to see what anatomy looks like in the whatever. But did anybody tell the people at the news station that the cell phone industry is full of these people just sending naked photos of themselves to random strangers? I mean, I wouldn't do it, but people have in the past. It's already been done, so. But here's where they are.
Researchers have put forward a proposal for a message to be transmitted from Earth out into the Milky Way in hopes that any extraterrestrials that may be out there will find it. The
Teresti? Is that like Slovak Teresti? At trials? I'm just curious for the morality police. It's like virtue and vice. Here we are.
The message will include representations of DNA, a map of the solar system, and illustrations of nude humans waving hi.
Really?
One male and one female, we're told. The message ends with an invitation for extraterrestrials to respond using their own telescopic technology. Now, Lee, I know you're big into space.
Humans waving hi. I don't get that. I mean, can't they be clothed?
Lee will explain, I'm sure.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Now, this is interesting. Off of that topic, they have some guy who glued his hand to the counter at Starbucks. Something about milk and byproducts and things. I mean, I like soy milk personally, but whatever.
glued his hand to a counter at Starbucks. All this in animal rights protest in Midtown Manhattan. Mr. Cromwell joining members of PETA for the demonstration at a Starbucks at 40th and Broadway. The 82-year-old pulled off the sticky stunt as part of a protest over the chain charging customers extra money for vegan milk options. Cromwell also read aloud a statement criticizing the chain and calling the use of cow's milk, quote, the biggest contributor to its carbon footprint. Starbucks charges up to 70 cents extra for plant-based milk.
A new health alert for parents.
And then this is weird, because today there was this thing earlier about, it happened yesterday, I think, about a passenger having to take over for the pilot and land on a runway. Because they don't normally talk about this kind of stuff on the news. These are odd events. And then tonight, they show there's something about a George Bush airport. No idea where that is. I'm sure somebody else might. And a United flight. Oh, wait, it's in Houston. Because it's Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, well, there's a United flight with the George Bush whatever airport that ran off of the cement and went taxied onto the grass, or somehow wound up on the grass.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. The news from the Hill at this hour on efforts to protect Roe versus Wade, Republicans blocking the Democrats. Also that major development, the settlement after the Surfside, Florida condo collapse. But we are going to begin tonight with that breaking headline from Houston, a passenger jet coming in for a landing, losing control, going off the runway. The plane operated by United Airlines ending up off that runway, 16 people on board, 13 passengers, and 3 crew members. What the pilots told the tower just before this happened. ABC's Maria Villarreal leading us off from Texas tonight.
13-3.
The FAA says this United Express plane from Victoria, Texas, had just come in for a landing around 2:30 this afternoon at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport when the plane lost nose-wheel steering. The Bombardier CRJ-200 rolling off the runway and onto the grass.
It looks like there's a plane in the grass that landed in front of us.
Authorities say there were no injuries among the 13 passengers and 3 crew on board.
They should be captain for the aircraft, so they're United Express aircraft here off the runway. Yeah, we need to somehow to get out of here. The passengers are fine in the back. There are no damages of any kind.
Those passengers bussed to the terminal as ground crews moved in to inspect the...
And this is something called a... They use different symbols than whatever.
jet. David, that runway is now shut down while crews work to get the plane off the runway, so the FAA can now come in and investigate exactly what went wrong. David?
Unsettling for those passengers for sure. Maria Villarreal tonight. Maria, thank you. In the meantime, to Capitol Hill at this hour and the showdown across...
It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I mean, Kennedy has a space station, like something NASA. I got Kennedy Airport up here. I mean... why is the airport over here called JFK and John F. Kennedy if there's not something important going on in New York that perhaps NASA could, like, lend a hand to? I mean, like, what do they really do with all that agency money? I'm just curious.